Hey guys, it's me, Everything Z, and I'm recording this on the 4th of July, but instead of going out there to celebrate America in this 96-degree heat, I'm here to talk about Project Sekai covers, specifically to propose my theory behind a recurring phenomenon within them. It's not a mind-blowing conclusion to draw, but I haven't seen many people talk about it, so I hope I don't sound crazy explaining this, especially since I think we can all agree there's been too many full group covers lately. Like, for years. I know an Anhane cover got announced recently, and by the time I finish recording this, more duets could be announced on the monthly streams, but it's far from balanced. So many duos are still stuck in cover jail. Shizuari, Ruinene, Mizuena. Full group covers themselves aren't strange. In fact, it was strange when Nigo only had like 2 during the game's early days. But it's become somewhat of a default now. With any song you want, you need to accept that there's like a 75% chance it'll be a full group cover, even at the risk of its quality. An example of this is the recent Nigo Lovey cover. People had many complaints with it, but something that stood out on my first listen of the game cut was the chorus's line distribution. Both choruses were heavily focused on Mizuena, the 2 characters that fit the song's energy the most. Sorry Kanamafu, I love you, but this is not a whispery song.
I love her lack of energy! Go girl, give us nothing!
To me, this screams that someone at Colorful Palette wants to make this a Mizuena duet so badly. And that honestly would have been for the better. Most Vocaloid songs aren't made for multiple people, but some definitely lend themselves to group covers better than others. Lovey is not one of those songs! Trying to give 5 singers a somewhat even amount of lines leads to the cover feeling very cramped. And this is true for many other Pro Sekai covers, with some characters getting only 1 to 2 short solo lines at most. The Lovey cover would have shined so much more as a Mizuena duet, giving room for the performances to breathe a little. But how else would they make the collaboration money from dressing every member as Lovely Shushu Marshu? I'm not a Compass fan, but I think I got that right. There's also the additional factor of the Vocaloids in the covers. Now before you raise your pitchforks, I'm not trying to say this should be entirely eliminated from the game or some bullshit like that. Without Vocaloid, Project Sekai wouldn't exist. But in a cover, I would like to hear the vocals of the characters covering the song. But I swear in some of these, the Vocaloids take up half the lines. The most egregious example, in my opinion, is the Rui Kasa cover of Outburst Dreamer Voice, where Len gets 29 damn seconds to himself for the phone call interlude, in a song where his vocals were already overpowering Rui Kasa in the chorus. First Rui Kasa cover we got after a 3-year gap, by the way. I was so pissed when I first listened to this cover, and I still am, since Len didn't even sound good. If I want to hear Len do this part, I'd listen to the well-tuned OG. I genuinely don't get the point of making covers if the Vocaloid, especially if they were the original singer, takes up all the lines. So far I've just done a whole lot of complaining, so what's the point? Well, with how common these elements have become, I've started suspecting it's deliberate. But why? Why would Colorful Palette do this? Walk with me here. Most Pro Sekai fans have heard a cover and felt like one member's vocals stood out compared to the rest, and thus wishing for an alt vocal to be released. I've definitely done this. It's normal to want to hear your favorite characters sing solo, but every song isn't guaranteed an alt vocal, especially covers. At least with commissions, you can assume it'll be the focused character getting it all.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
For covers though, you have to hope and pray it'll get one. Plus, they're very inconsistent with what songs and which characters get alts. People do track how many alts each character has or what songs are eligible, but sometimes Colorful Palette throws total curveballs. And because of the uncertainty of the release, I don't think a song should rely on alt vocals to sound good. But my theory is that Colorful Palette released many full group covers intentionally in order to limit the amount of lines characters receive per cover. This gets fans hoping for an alt vocal in order to make up for the lack of time, and if they do eventually release one, it'll allow for the money to roll in. Yes, cover cards and vouchers aren't a particularly rare resource. Vouchers are only 15,000 event badges, which isn't too bad compared to more expensive items like wish drops or bottles of feelings. You wouldn't need to use real life money to buy them. They aren't the main source of income for the game compared to the actual gachas themselves. But there are people out there who spend gems to buy energy cans to help tier, resulting in the buildup of event badges. Not to mention, there are many fans who want every cover for their favorite character, which requires way more resources. Basically, I think full group covers are just another way to make a bit more profit through the cover vouchers, purely because of how chance-based the releases are. And I feel like if the company was concerned with only the musicality, they wouldn't be cramming all these characters into one song, where the line distribution would be a bit more balanced. This isn't me shaming those who are excited about the release of alt covers. I'm literally the same. Just look at these Discord messages from when the LoveCon ones were released. I was acting like an angel came down and blessed me personally. It's just frustrating seeing covers quality be held back just to stretch out hype for alt vocals that may or may not happen. When it comes to the Vocaloids in the covers, this theory only really applies to line distribution issues, because I think it'd be in bad faith to claim the Vocaloids are tuned badly on purpose. Even though I complain that the tuning really should be more consistent after 5 years of this game's existence, I really just think some poor employee is trying to wrangle with the NT banks and is doing the best they can. Line distribution though, definitely a way they make the characters' moments in the songs more scarce, thus making them more desirable. The good old scarcity principle. Companies have always used them to make more money regardless of how beneficial it is for fans, such as Nintendo with the limited release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. The only difference is that line distribution is not a tangible object, but the tactics are basically the same. At the end of the day, a gacha game's main priority is profit. It's understandable why Colorful Palette would do this. But again, I'm just frustrated. I really love this game's music, so seeing a cover's potential squandered by such a simple decision of how many characters are singing in a song or how the lines are distributed makes me sad. And that's all. Do you agree with my theory, or did I just make some bullshit? Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in more Pro Sekai videos as well as ones about other media, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video!